I think it's important, like actually my uphill gets better when I have more economy and speed built up. Like when my engine's big, and those high intense workouts are going to build that engine. And of course, as I get closer to like the big races like Western States and CCC, I get more specific.
Do you maybe know how much altitude you do in 1 year?
In 1 year? I don't know. I don't really focus too much on that.
Okay. Also on the miles, how much miles you run in 1 year?
Ooh, miles. Yeah, it just depends on the year, really. This year is actually probably less than I've done in the past. I think in the past I've done close to 5,000 miles a year.
Okay, it's like
maybe
8,000 kilometers.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a lot.
But this year will be less. Maybe
Okay.
like 3 or 4.
Okay.
1,000 miles. So I don't know exactly. I'd have to look at Strava.
You never check how much is the altitude?
I don't really
did you
focus
make,
too much on that. I just focus on what I need to do.
on the engine.
Yeah, what I need to do to stay healthy is the biggest thing, because like none of this is possible if I'm injured. And like being healthy is the key to everything, because I cannot utilize any of the fitness I gain without being healthy. And so it's like I don't try and force things anymore. I just focus on health, and I do what I need to do to stay healthy, and that's my key.
What do you think about Golden Trail series? Would you ever do them, like the whole series, or is it too short for you?
Now it's too short for me. Yeah. I think a lot of the reasons why I do so well in a lot of these big long races is like the tactics and like the nutrition and different things like that. Like outside of the fitness, there's a lot of things that I do really good at. And you can't really use those in the shorter races. It's pretty much all about fitness. Yes, like fueling and stuff can help, but that stuff is going to help you more in the longer stuff. Plus, I just enjoy the longer stuff more. And I feel like those very, very fast speed days are kind of behind me. I might throw myself into them every now and then as like a speed workout or something to help me with the ultras, but I do prefer the ultras now.
And it's also more injury risk.
There's a lot more injury risk. Yeah, the training is a lot different.
True.
And I just, don't find too much interest in that anymore.
When we come right now, if you go the day before CCC, actually the last week before CCC, how much approximately do you run the last week? Like the taper? How does your food looks like? Do you eat much more carbs? Do you put fats out, proteins out? How approximate? Do you shock the body? You don't shock them? Do you manipulate with water or with something? How does it look like?
I don't change much up. I kind of focus on just keeping in a good routine. The body likes routine, the mind likes routine. So my diet stays pretty much the same. I might eat a little bit less just for the reason that I'm training less. Like I'm just not as hungry, right? But when I'm hungry, I'll eat. You know, if I feel like I need a little extra sleep, I'll maybe sleep in a little bit. I do really focus on like doing all the little things, like making sure I'm hydrated every day, making sure I'm getting enough sleep, different things like that. But I'm doing that all the time, really. Like, and so I think it's important to not try and reinvent the wheel, but just kind of like do what has worked for you in the past and just kind of keep things simple. Simplicity is everything for me. If I can keep things simple and just focus on like enjoying life with my family and keeping things relatively simple, then I'm in a good spot.
So like a day or 2 days before the race, you don't double up the carbs?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I mean, that's only probably going to lead to bloating, and you're probably not going to feel great doing that because your body's not used to it. I just keep everything the same. I still fuel I fuel most of my runs. You know, like I'll take my race day nutrition on most of my long runs and workouts and even on some of my easy days, because I think it's important to fuel a lot of your runs. I think like a lot of people don't fuel their runs enough. And I'll continue to do that into the taper, because a lot of the times people take that out during the taper because they're not running as long. But I continue to do that to keep my gut trained, and to also just, because that also helps with recovery. And during the taper is when you want to be recovering the most.